Good afternoon, everyone. This is an emergency message. If you are anywhere in the northeast border with Canada, these warnings are real, and it's the coldest temperatures that you have experienced in your entire lifetime. In-depth analysis in this video of where this storm is going to track, how cold it's going to get. These wind chills are ridiculous at 70 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. And looking at the actual ground temperatures, they're looking at minus 40 degrees to minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to take you through the track of the storm, that dark green. Power grids are very possibly going to go down during this event due to so much draw. The green is the most intense. Purple would on its own be a severe storm and cold warning, but this is something that we have not seen yet. The intensification of the grand solar minimum is here. This is an indicator. The media is trying to have you believe it's only in the United States, but the exact same thing is happening over Europe. And Ryan Maue has dubbed it as Barney freeze because there's so much purple on all the maps that you're looking at. I'm looking at grand solar minimum cold. Click to subscribe and follow Adapt 2030 through the social media and YouTube to get more information on why this is happening and how it's going to affect your lives, your families as we move forward through the next 5 years of grand solar minimum intensification. Starting over here on the Simplistic USA Today article detailing Arctic air invades. I personally feel they are downplaying this event. They're calling it Barney because there's so much purple on all these maps that we're about to look at. Ryan Maue, I've linked everything below in the description box so you can follow down the temperature forecasts, all the charts, get the latest so you can keep yourself safe. This is no joke. These are the coldest temperatures you have experienced in your entire life up to this point. They're looking at possibly the coldest day in the city's history, Chicago, Illinois. This place is cold all the time in the winters. This is a statement beyond statements. Records in that city go back to the late 1870s. So when you see the media coming out using words such as life-threatening, dangerous, unprecedented, and these are the daily record lows that are going to be shattered as we move through. Look for tens of thousands of cold records to be smashed during this event. Now, this event's going to unfold over the next 3 days. And they're looking at some wind chill temperatures in Minnesota in the neighborhood of minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's right, 70 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. So extreme in many places that the temperature monitoring stations can't even pick up how cold it gets because it pegs at minus 33 degrees Fahrenheit. When the National Weather Service puts out life-threatening and historic wind chills into their forecasts that are still behind because the wind chills that they're looking at up around some of the Great Lakes are going to be pushing 50 to 60 degrees below zero. The updated models are here. Let's take a look. The storm's been tracking. This is off the GFS model. The white vortex centered over the Great Lakes is what you're looking at. That strange striation across desert Southwest, also unusual. As we move into the 30th, you can see actually low how this is going to dip into the U.S. Now, Canada, they're used to this type of cold all the time. But the U.S. power grid and our infrastructure is not used to these temperatures. It's going to be an all-time draw on the grids, and I would not be surprised if a grid goes down due to draw on the power of people trying to heat their homes. And we're taking a look at the temperature anomaly here, 850 millibars. The light green is what you're focusing on. Anyway, in a winter storm, that light pink there, that would be a warning in itself. But when we get up to these greens, I've never seen this. You just don't see greens like this coming across the continental U.S. The storm's going to continue to track to the east and south, eventually coming over Ohio, Indiana, and pushing further south down into the border with Virginia. So as it reaches the coldest point during this event, this is what you're looking at here. On January 30th, throughout the day. Even far down into the southeast U.S., Alabama, Georgia, looking at something minimum 20 degrees Celsius below normal. This is not a Fahrenheit chart. This is Celsius, which means it's actually cooler than Fahrenheit. They're looking around 30 degrees Fahrenheit under the normal temperatures. We're going to watch this thing track, and then look how it drags and the periphery comes through the southeast U.S. The homes down there are not built for this storm. Again, I'm going to come back to say you need emergency preparations because I do believe the power is going to be lost at least one of these areas in the United States. Taking a look here, zooming in on the Great Lakes temperature anomaly map. That green is rarely seen except in the Arctic. This is not because of CO2. This is because of the intensification of the grand solar minimum. I'm going to widen that out here further for you, taking a look at some of the wind chills, the way they break it down. Minus 58, minus 60, minus 64 degrees Fahrenheit, below zero. And as we pull through, these are going to be the wind chill temperatures over the next 5 days for that Great Lakes region, actually the Midwest. Still looking at minus 50, minus 60, minus 40, below zero off to the west, and that storm is going to continue to track south. So some of these temperatures are literally going to be unprecedented in Virginia, Kentucky. And when I do look at this map, I can see why Ryan Maue came out with the meme of Barney, the super freeze winter storm, record-breaking event. And taking a look at the apparent temperature, that includes the wind chill. We're looking at something like 51 degrees below zero at Chicago International. Flights are not going to be taken off during this time. And to get an indication of how this storm is going to drop temperatures so quickly, Chicago International went from 6 degrees below zero down to 51 degrees below zero in 24 hours. We're starting to see the same thing here in Minneapolis. The storm is real. These temperatures are unprecedented, but they do bottom out around minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 50 below zero, it stabilizes, and then the front's passing. Now take a look at the whiteout here. The brutal Arctic cold is going to come for the rest of the week, and these surface temperatures are literally 35 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit under the normal temperatures that you're used to. Weathermodels.com, you can see how the low temperatures are going to extend all the way past Texas into southern Mexico. That'll sweep over the Yucatan Peninsula. Florida going to get down to freezing. I was calling for iguanas falling from the tree in the forecast a few days ago for the same storm front. But this is what's going to roll out over the next 5 days. These extreme temperatures. The only place where water is not going to turn into ice on this map are some places in California coastal and southern Florida. And if you're in the Northeast, your skin turns to ice. Now, different look here from Tropical Tidbits. These are Fahrenheit temperatures. I dug in. Most of the weather models are always done in Celsius, but here we are, Fahrenheit. You can see the progression of the storm again. You get a couple hours of warning, and then it just drops. Literally from the point of being incredibly bundled up where you could survive outside until you have 5 minutes to get inside before you get frostbite types of temperatures in 24 hours. It's just a repeating cycle in history. Grand solar minimum cold. Please subscribe to Adapt 2030. Follow me through the social media. I explain this in a podcast and why all of this is happening and how it's going to affect your family, the economy, food prices as we move forward through these next 3 to 4 years, because this is where the most change is taking place right now. It'll stabilize eventually around 2025, but then we're going to get the second wave. And case in point, you think if we had such extreme temperatures in the United States, they would also say, wow, the same exact thing's happening over in Europe. Isn't that coincidental? 2 places on the planet about to get the coldest temperatures ever recorded for at least these last 3 generations. But nope, it's just the U.S. They totally forgot the same exact event happening over in Europe. This is developing. These temperatures through Germany are going to do the exact same thing they're doing in Chicago. And during these uncertain times, I've teamed up with Patriot Supply long-term food storage, a nice, affordable starter kit, 2-week food supply, 1,500 calories per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinners, plus the 4-gallon storage containers included in that. This is a good first step in getting more self-sufficient. And if you click through the Prepare with Adapt 2030 page in Patriot Supply, you can get this starter kit for $75. Please remember there's a limit of 2 per household in this special offer. And if you'd like more information about the Grand Solar Minimum 30 Minutes at a Go Mini Ice Age Conversations podcast, and if you'd like your information in snippets of 1 minute or less, run down on Adapt 2030 social media feeds, and while you're at it at the website osccrops.org, sign up for the newsletter.